The No Money But Dreams podcast is for those millennial dreamers
who try to be in the top 1%.
It doesn't matter what we've achieved.
We wake up every morning with the mindset that we're still broke.
We welcome you on our journey in search of that home run.
Which can change everything.
Everything?
Everything.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of No Money But Dreams podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about goals and more about what 2022 is going to mean to us as the podcast and as individuals, and maybe a few tips for you guys on what we've learned so far about how setting goals actually allows you to achieve them when you actually tangibly write them down.
Yeah. So, I haven't been that good with writing goals in the last couple of years. My wife is not happy with me. When we came to Dubai 5-6 years ago, we used to write down goals every single year, and we achieved most of them, right? There was always some kind of relationship goal, how we grew together. Then there was always a weight loss of one way or another goal, right? I wanted to average 85 kilos 1 year and all sorts of different goals. There used to be a travel goal, how many different destinations we want to visit. So, visit 5 countries, and we did it. And yeah, so I don't know why, but I haven't written it probably in 2 years, and I don't feel good about it. I want 2022 to look different and to really go and achieve those goals again. What about you?
I mean, since I was young, actually, in school, they always taught us in the American system in Abu Dhabi. Well, that's where the school I went to. They always taught you to write down your goals from when I can remember. So obviously in your teens, not so much. In your early 20s, not really. But I would say the past 5 years, I have actually at the end of every single year written down my goals. And I tend to make sure it's written down in handwriting and also typed. I also like to put it somewhere which is easily accessible every single day, so somewhere I look all the time. And it's really incredible how writing them down and actually visualizing them on a daily basis sort of aligns your life and aligns your ways of what you're trying to achieve throughout the year. And I've been achieving, I usually write like 10 things and I usually achieve 4 of them or something like that. And then I just roll over the 6 to the next year. And they are either opening a new branch, for example, in a location. One of them was opening a pizza concept, which I opened this year. Another one was going on a certain holiday, which I did, or I'm going to go on. So there's numerous things which feed into like those quadrants which I was talking about, which is like physical. Another one was being under 92 kilos by the end of this year, which I have achieved. And I actually might go under 90, so I overshot that. And I think they all revolve around, obviously, your relationships, your physical strength or physical mentality, your mental, like learning, reading books, reading the FT, reading The Economist or whatever, interests you. And those elements are what brings you closer to your goal if you can align yourself on a regular basis. And I think that it's super important.
What you said with you don't achieve all of them and then you roll some of them over, that really annoyed me about goal setting, right? When I didn't achieve something and I just had to put it to next year to achieve it, it kind of annoyed me, and then I didn't want to write any goals anymore.
Yeah.
And this is something that you need to feel all right with. You're going to set obviously pretty high goals, and if you don't achieve all of them, it's okay.
Yeah.
Right? Because you have achieved a lot of them. You've gotten closer to what your perfect plan looked like than if you hadn't written them down or if you hadn't chased them.
Yeah, and I think that just because you don't achieve them doesn't mean you should be put off by the whole plan. And that's something which comes into everybody in business, especially in entrepreneurship. Like, where you're going, you have this vision, but there's going to be speed bumps along the way. And if you have one speed bump and you say, that's it, and give up on the whole entire goal, then you're never, ever going to reach anywhere.
Yeah. For me, one of my goals in one of the years was to get a promotion, right? And I wrote that down, and then I made a plan of how I'm going to get that promotion. And I went so detailed. And it's not just necessarily writing a bullet point. Like, you can go very, very granular with these kind of goals.
Yeah.
Right? And that's that thought process in itself, like how am I going to achieve this goal? Because writing down a goal is just, it's just a sentence on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
But what is actually going to, the execution, what does it have to look like for me to achieve this? That's something that then becomes a lot more powerful.
And also forces you kind of to be more accountable, because you've spent so much time thinking about it, writing about it, visualizing it. There's more chance of it becoming a reality than just sort of like an idea.
Yeah, and for me, like writing them down together with my wife, that was pretty powerful, because if you didn't reach those goals, you have to go back to the wife at the end of the year, and you're going to write another set of goals and you didn't achieve those. Like what's your excuse?
100%.
So what are some of the things that you get excited about for 2022 in terms of goal setting, and what are some of the goals that you want to set?
Well, one of them which I set for 2021 was to read a book every month, which I've managed to do. So I would probably like to read 2
Actually read or on Audible?
A mixture of both, but I have been actually reading on my Kindle, because I feel that my cognitive ability to get vocabulary and stuff is better on the Kindle. So I would like to turn that into 2 books a month.
Why do you want to read books? Like, what's the actual goal behind that?
For me, reading really brings out my ability to get vocabulary when I'm talking. So big words or words that you're not used to using, let's say in work, or you're not used to using in your friendship group. When you're reading, you're being exposed to those words, and therefore, because you can use them in sentences. And I really can't stand it when sometimes I find myself looking for a word and I just can't. It's like on the tip of your tongue, when they say on the tip of your tongue.
Yeah.
And I just can't stand that, man. And English is the only language I speak 100%, and I want to speak it
100%?
100%. No, I just want to speak it flawlessly, and I want to have a rich vocabulary, and that's why for me reading is really important. And I read mostly nonfiction things and things which are pertinent to work or what I'm researching about or thinking about. The second thing also I want to do is read The Economist every single day.
I wasn't supposed to be rude. I just checked how many books I read.
And what did you read?
9.
9 books?
Yeah.
Hey, that's not bad. That's almost 1 a month.
It's not bad, yeah.
Yeah. Another thing I want
Actually, these are 9 audibles, and I read 4 or 5 hard copies, so I should get to the 12.
There you go. So 24 for next year would be...
Yeah, but I mean, for me, reading books is like, because we don't go to school anymore, we don't really learn in that kind of way.
Yeah.
And if someone has 4, 5, 10 years experience in something and he puts it all together, I can get someone's 20 years experience by reading or listening to the book in a couple of hours, right? Yeah. That is so valuable to me. And you can learn about things, like you can learn in many different ways. You can go through the experience yourself, but you can
which
also...
is expensive.
Exactly, but you can learn from someone else's experience. And that's why reading books is really... It brightens your horizon. It makes you look at things from a different angle. That's why I enjoy reading it. And there's nothing worse than, losing time doing something, like whether it's driving or working out, or that's usually when I tend to listen to them.
Yeah.
Because there's
it's almost dead time, which could be utilized to
you're doubling up.
Yeah.
Right?
Double or nothing.
So books is one thing. You want to read more books?
I also want to manage my time better. I want to control my time. I'm pretty good at managing my time, but I'm a bit too flexible with people taking up my time. And I want to be really, really rigid with that. And I want to make sure that I'm...
You need to be more German.
Yeah, I want to be more German when it comes to my schedule and what I allocate my time and meetings. And I just feel that so many times you're just bogged down with meetings over and over and over. And it's just never ending sometimes. And there's zero value that comes out of them, especially if there's not a clear agenda. It's not clear what we're going to talk about. There's no value to meet just to meet.
Yeah.
You meet to make a decision. You meet to discuss the pros and cons of something. And I believe that if you don't control that, you finish the 8 hours of your day quickly sometimes, and you haven't even done what you needed to do in that day as far as work is concerned.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned books, you mentioned time. These are kind of like sub-goals for me, right? Because you have an overarching goals. And why are you protective of your time? Or why do you want to be protective of your time? Because you have an overarching goal that you want to achieve.
Yeah.
Right? What was that?
To try and build $1 billion business.
Right.
And there's no way that I'm going to be able to do that if I have people eating up my time all.
Exactly.
nonstop. And if I don't have time to think properly and be clear and allocate strictly time into looking at these opportunities to try and identify it, it's just not possible. And that's what I've been doing for the past, let's say, 3 years or 4 years. So I need to create a succession plan. I need to create a strategy of how to free up more of my time to follow this dream, which I know we both have.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that, the time is the thing that we all have the same of, right? We don't know how much of it we actually going to get. But right now, what you can control is your time. And if you can control how many hours you spend on things that are actually not getting you to your overarching goal, you are much more likely to have 4 or 5 hours to spend on the time that you, or on the thing that you want to chase.
I mean, even just look at us plugging in 1 hour a day that we have, and it's religious. Whether we need to talk or we don't need to talk, we come online for that 1 hour early in the morning when it doesn't affect anything else to discuss, at the moment, the podcast, discuss opportunities and things, and look how far it's brought us. And that's literally 1 hour of your day. So I want to try and create more of those blocks in my day to allocate to things I really, really care about.
I mean, the thing that we both realized is, for us, it's the morning.
Oh,
right?
100%. Yeah.
Like, we don't function well at 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon because we've had 10 hours of stuff going on already. So we have to make it in the morning.
And that's strategically booking time in the morning for these kinds of goals.
Yeah.
Researching, thinking about, planning, strategizing the things that mean the most to us.
I mean, for us, gym in the morning.
Yeah.
Getting on the phone together in the morning.
Yeah.
Whether it's, we created the NFT series that we shot in the mornings. Or, I mean, shout out to Vlad. He woke up at 5:30 in the morning in the Netherlands to just do the recording with us, right? That was amazing. But yeah, gym in the morning, then get on the phone and work on our stuff together. And what kind of bugged me is that, if you spend an hour working out, an hour together, that's 2 hours out of 24 hours. There's still a lot of hours that could be used in a different kind of way. And I think for 2022, we got to find a way to spend more time together, working on these things.
And it's also, I mean, coming back to, there's so many instances where people like come to you, I need this right now, I need it to be done, etc. Like, they're in your face, they're getting, and of course you're going to react. Yeah, okay, sure, I'm going to get this done for you straight away. So you stop what you have necessarily planned to do for that period of time to facilitate this like ad hoc request, and then they don't do anything with what the information you give, or they don't do anything, or they're like, oh yeah, I can wait after you've busted your balls to get it to them. Yeah. I think that drives me crazy. So controlling people doing that to my life is definitely something that's very, very important to me in 2022, and also blocking out a significant amount of morning time to focus on dreams and goals.
Yeah. So you're already good with waking up. You wake up at what, 5?
No, not yet. I'm struggling at around 5:30, and then I get really like 5:40 I get up. But I want to wake up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
I think that there's this book by Robin Sharma, and I'm just about to read it. It's called 5 a.m. Club. But even that word, the 5 a.m. Club, like, it's similar to the idea of taking the time to get a 6-pack or doing these challenges. If you wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning, like, you're a serious sort of person.
No,
like,
and also, I mean, you've got 3-4 hours before the whole world wakes up.
Exactly. And that's what I told my wife, because obviously my wife is saying like, oh, really, you have to wake up at 5 in the morning? Like, we only sleep at 10 and stuff like that, or 9. And it's, because between 5 and 10, there's just no bullshit.
Yeah.
Starting 10 o'clock, it's just piles of bullshit. Stupid emails, requests, someone calling you, an idiot from Salat or something, like calling you to ask you to upgrade, getting the bank account, you need this, do you want a loan? Like, it's just so much noise. But for that twilight moment, it's just you and the darkness, and there's just something so liberating about it, man.
Yeah, I mean, for me, waking up in the morning isn't difficult because my kids are up every morning, 5:30 to 6, doesn't matter what day of the week it is. So I get up, but the time when I actually get to like work on myself or on our things together is not as early as I would like it to be. Obviously, I I am a dad.
You wake the
And
kids up at
no-
3 a.m, like, get up!
No, I enjoy my time with them in the morning, but that time in the morning I gotta be very protective of as well. So what else? What else have you got? Books, time management, working on important stuff for you. What else have you got in there? What about travel? I know. I mean, I saw you over the last kind of 2-3 years. You're newly married and you haven't traveled as much, obviously with COVID, but also with the amount of work that you put on yourself with opening another branch or 2-3 branches over the last 3 years. What is the goal there?
I definitely want to take more time to travel in short bursts, like not for long. It's impossible to really go for more than a week, I think. But I do want to explore more places with Dina, and I know that she does as well. So I want to factor that in as far as my strategy is concerned. And that boils down to building the correct systems in place that I can walk away from Burger.28 comfortably and everything runs smoothly.
Yeah.
And that ties into the succession plan and ties into what the next stage of my life could be as well, you know?
Next stage of your life?
Yeah, the next stage.
What does that mean?
I'm not going to go into too much detail. But I am rather bullish about the metaverse and NFTs.
What a segue of trying to avoid the topic, but it's all right. Okay. So, Meta, NFTs.
We're super bullish about it, and we think that there's a massive opportunity there. And I think that we should spend a bit more time digging deep, speaking to people, understanding what the opportunity could be for us in this space.
I mean, you and I, we agree that we think that this is a moment that is like when the internet came around.
Yeah.
Right? 20, 30 years ago, and those moments only come every 20 years.
Yeah, they only come every 20 to 30 years.
Exactly.
And we miss crypto.
Yeah.
Well, the beginning of crypto.
Yep.
So I don't think we should let this one go, man.
No, and it's not so much about NFTs. I mean, NFTs is, for me, it's part of the metaverse and where we're going or where we're potentially going. And a lot of people are getting into this, whether it's brands or, you know, all these different metaverses that potentially will exist.
The exciting thing is we don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
But there's something there.
And being open and learning about this early on, because so many people still don't know.
Yeah,
right?
and even after speaking and explaining to people about it, they still can't really wrap their head around it. And I feel like we kind of got it. Like there wasn't too much to it, you know? So I think that we have an advantage there to see what kind of opportunities present themselves. And I think with it in 2022, one of my goals is to really hone in on that and really expose myself as much as possible to it.
Yeah, and not so much NFTs or crypto, but it's more like understanding the metaverse, because
100%.
that's the overarching.
Yeah, crypto and NFT are just plugins into the metaverse.
Yeah, yeah, and the kind of opportunities that you see within them right now are, I mean, I know them, so I can just say them. It's probably like, you know, identifying another blockchain that's going to be important to it.
Yeah.
Right. There is going to be what actual metaverse do we get behind? Right?
Yeah. Which one is the winning metaverse?
Meta is trying to do a metaverse.
Yeah.
Sandbox, all these different kind of places. Yeah. Right. And where are the opportunities within them? Right. And then what else can you do within them? I mean, you know, NFTs is one thing. Crypto is one thing. Buying land within them, right? Or creating something within them is an interesting opportunity. And then what other opportunities can we identify over the next 3 to 6 months where we can put our energy behind, right? Yeah. We're kind of in this discovery phase, but we definitely don't want to let this slip, because we have seen this before where we've gone down a rabbit hole and not explored it fully. And that's why we now kind of are crying over the 2017 crypto days.
Yeah. So in order, obviously, to take advantage of this opportunity, we need to be
you need time.
Yeah, we need time. And if we don't fix our schedules and we allow so much noise to come in, then we're not going to have time to look at this.
You need time and you need energy, right? Because the thing is, if, you know, for me, when I finish in the evening, what do you do with the next 2-3 hours? Do you get in front of a Netflix and just waste those hours? Or do you invest them into learning and identifying new opportunities? And we can say, yeah, we are morning people and we can only invest that in the morning, but that's really just an excuse.
Oh, not another excuse.
If it is really a big opportunity, you need to make it a priority and you need to go after them.
Yeah.
Right? And that's something that I don't want any more excuses. I want us to go after them. And that's exciting to me. So that goal I definitely share with you. What about the podcast and kind of the community here that we're trying to build? Talk a little bit about that.
I mean, honestly, it's been an amazing experience so far, and we have so much fun doing this podcast and building this community and really building something from scratch, from literally zero, with no necessary prior experience or anything like that, but just kind of being ourselves and talking about what we talk about anyways, but sharing it with a bunch of like-minded individuals. And I think that building this community is going to be super, super interesting in 2022. We're so excited to have you guys with us. And we have a lot of plans. We have big plans.
I mean, for me, what I really can't stand is when people just talk, right? Yeah. I'm not that type of guy that just talks. I like to, do something about it. And I like to put my money where my mouth is. And that means in 2022, there's going to be so many opportunities that we're going to publicly chase, right? We're not going to hide anything. And that, I think, will build people around us that are hyped about this. Yeah. And we can already see from the first few episodes that we have released, the feedback was amazing from all parts of the world, from all walks of life, where people approached us that wanted to collaborate with us, wanted to give us opportunities, took something away from the episode. Yeah. That's just amazing feedback. So for us, I think we both realized we need to do more of this.
Definitely.
We need to continue creating great content and adding value to people's lives.
100%. And if we continue to do that, the sky's the limit. There is no limit to what we can achieve. And I'm just super, super excited.
I mean, this comes back to showing up, right? It is just the effort that it takes, coming here, recording the episodes, planning the episodes, thinking about what we're going to talk about that is going to be useful to people. That if we keep showing up, there's going to be great stuff that happens.
Something has to happen. There has to be a result. If you show up day in, day out, you spend that 1 hour, which we're doing every single day. We turn that into 2 hours. We block out some of the noise. We keep pushing. I mean, where we're going to be 1 year from now is the moon. Why not?
And physically, we already announced the challenge.
Yep.
Right?
It's a
very simple goal. It's just one that we haven't achieved.
It's binary, 0 or 1.
Yeah, 0 or 1. So physically it's done. Okay, time and all of that. Travel is important for me as well, because my wife, we traveled in the summer, but then we haven't really traveled much. And, I've got 2 small kids. But if you think about it, I heard this a number of years back. They're going to get to 18. And then they're going to want to travel by themselves, or potentially even before. So I now have another 15 years to go to take them on amazing experiences and make memories for life, right? And I want to get back into this. And I think a lot of people out there with COVID have the same kind of feeling. But in the UAE, you feel very protected from what COVID is out there. And we live pretty free lives, really.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, and we want to... I want to take my family on more trips and experience more things. Yeah. That's a really important thing that I'm going to put on my list of travel goals. And then there's also the travel with us together. Yeah. I mean, when we go back to the driven kind of days, we used to be on the road all the time, and I think we're pretty comfortable with being on the road together.
Definitely.
But that time that we spent in Europe, in Luxembourg, in the UK, in LA, in San Francisco, all these things that has kind of brought us together and has also made us grow so much in that aspect, right? Yeah. So we need to continue doing that to get to the levels that we want to get to.
I'm with you 100%. We got an action-packed 2022, man, at the sound of that.
And everyone that is listening should have been reflecting throughout this episode, what is my 2022 goals going to look like? Yeah. Go and sit down and write down your goals. Think about, what are you going to do in 2022? How are you going to get rid of all the excuses? How are you not going to do what you did before to actually change something in your life?
Yeah.
Right?
Agreed.
We're going to leave it at that.
We're going to leave it at that. Thank you guys so much. Please do like and subscribe. Think about what your goals for 2022 are, and stay tuned to see us while we try and achieve ours. Take care. Peace.
Peace.